is it saying scheduled? We're live and good evening. Welcome to a hot and sweaty monthly mystical. It's look at me, I'm glowing this evening. Anyway, look, probably the first time you've ever seen me with my hair not down, or yeah, well actually it's not, but anyway, it's out the way. It's oh let me just shush this up. There we go. That's just YouTube. I don't know whether you could hear that. Instagram is good to go. And we're there. Anyway, so good evening. And also, so we've got a few people here already. Thank you for joining us. We've got Carl Dinsdale. Thank you. Yeah, lovely to see you. Russell, lovely to not see you. Booth by Land. I don't know who that is, but hello. Nice of you to join us. Andrew, lovely for you to join us too. Toby, also lovely for you to join. Thank you so much. Hiya. Right. So this is fabulous. It is so hot though. Tell us in the comments how hot it is where you are and how much you're sweating this evening. It's always good to know, isn't it? So today on the 25th of June, 2026, how hot is it where you are this evening? Tell us in the comments. I'm just waiting for a couple more seconds just for people to join in. Good evening, Beverly. Just a few good. Oh, you're Angelo. Hi, Angelo. I won't remember your name though. I'll just remember you as Booth by Land. Scotland has started to cool down, so hopefully I'll sleep tonight. Well, lucky you. I don't think we've got any hope for the next 2 days. I think we're the same for another 2 days. Oh, but never mind. It's all good. It's all good. Just waiting for a couple more seconds just for anybody else to come and join us live, because it does take a few minutes for people to get notifications. So we'll just wait for that. And while we're doing that, I should at 30 degrees here in Hebden Bridge, is it? Oh, wow. Yeah. I think we're still 30 here, at least. I think it's 32 still. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But it's good. It's all good. It'll be gone in a couple of days and you'll all be moaning that it's raining again. So, I am Jacqueline Wilson from the Magic Toolbox UK, which we sell lots of magical tools that we make to order. So if anybody's interested in that, there is a little scanny thing. Can't remember which corner it is. You can just go on there and you can go straight onto our website if you fancy having a look at that. Hi Joel, nice of you to join us. Hi Hunter McFarland, nice for you to join. 93 and 770, I'm not sure what that means. But that's good to know. What does that mean? Let me know what that means, I'm not sure. Whew. And where are you all from? Say where you're from as well. Let us know where you're coming from. I purchased for you for many years. Thank you. Thank you, Boost by Land, which is Angelo. Ah, yes, you do actually sound familiar. I do remember most people that have bought from me. Thank you. Ooh. Thelema Current Bunter. Riddlesden. Where's Riddlesden? Never heard of it. Yes, I know you come from Edinburgh, Russell. Yes. I do love it when the chat's going good, because it's a good, it helps the channel, it helps everybody here, because tonight our aim is to spread this across the planet. So it's going to be such an interesting evening. So we're talking about Custodia, no, I'm going to say it wrong again, Custodia Borealis. And basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to get their own museum up north, mate, up north. So plans are afield, but I'm going to let them all talk about that. Hello, Aubrey here, present for the Custodia conversation. Thank you. Somebody, Andrew, some Kaylee, don't know where that is. Calderdale, is that up north? I'm sweating like a bird of Hermes in Nick Flimmel's alembic. Brilliant. I should just put these up. You could probably see these if you're on YouTube, because most of these are all YouTube comments. So if you're joining me from Facebook, why not just go across to YouTube and join us there? It doesn't make any difference where you join us from. You're going to see me anyway, and you're going to see all these beautiful people. So without further ado, I think we've got enough now to get started. So I'm going to introduce, shall I just introduce you one by one? So Custodia Borealis, and I'm going to let Melissa, I'm going to say hello, Melissa first. So Melissa Seams, did I say it right? Seams, same.
You did, rhymes with
yeah.
themes, yeah.
Seams. And she's going to be doing the main speaking tonight. We also have, adding to the stage, Dr. Sue Terry. Lovely to see you, Sue.
Lovely to be here. Thanks.
And also to the stage we have Darren. Yay! Okay. Yay. Great to have Hunter here. He's donated something wonderful to the museum. Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit. That'd be great. Sorry if you can hear my WhatsApp thing. I have no idea how to get it off. So if you hear it, that's my silly WhatsApp. I can't get off the blooming laptop. Right. Okay. So without further ado, shall we have Melissa? Would you like to explain exactly, because I'm rubbish at it, what Custodia Borealis is?
Okay, so the name Custodia Borealis, or Borealis, I'm not sure. It kind of means custodians of the north, and this whole thing came about from my book on the Golden Dawn, which probably most of your watchers are aware of. So basically, my last book was written around based on a unique collection of Golden Dawn artifacts that had been kept in private hands for over 120 years. I was invited to write on them. It is the best Golden Dawn collection that's come to light. It's a time machine back to Victorian times as far as what they were actually using. And at the beginning of the year, I sat down and I thought, this stuff really belongs in a museum. And thanks, Sue. And basically, the Yorkshire and their owners, they're a proud bunch, and they really don't want it to go to UGLE, which is where a lot of other Golden Dawn stuff is. And not only that, I've also been doing, I'm also a bit of a historian of modern witchcraft as well, and I have other kind of artifacts and stuff to do with that. And basically, I sat here and I thought it really belongs in a museum, this. And I put a post on Facebook at the start of the year, just saying, does anybody fancy kind of, forming a group to try and do something with this? And I was just absolutely blown away. And within a couple of weeks, we had load of people contacted me, including Darren and Sue, and we have gone from strength to strength. I mean, it's hot out there, but CB, as I call us, I mean, we're just on fire at the minute. We're just blown away by the support, the donations. We've raised several £1,000s. And we've even recently just got to sign the lease for a room, which is going to be used for our official archive. We've got museum curators on our team. We've now got 6 trustees. And yes, our longer term in creating an archive and doing auto-archival standards, it's a really important step towards going to the museum. We're waiting charity status. Our forms went in 2 or 3 months ago, but there's a bit of a wait. And now here we are. I don't know, Sue and Darren, do you want to say anything?
I think it's absolutely brilliant, the way that this whole enterprise has just snowballed, as we were saying earlier, if only we had one right now, but it's just snowballed from Melissa's first "Hey folks, what about it?" to where we are today. I mean, we've got nearly 1,000 subscribers on our Facebook group, just like that. We've got so many donations, and the goodwill and the excitement is incredible. It's really a great project to be associated with. And I did a little 5 minutes on my hind legs at the Glastonbury Occult Conference back in February, and people were mobbing me as I left the stage. Well, we want to know about this. This is great. And I think it's fair to say it's not stopped. And it really is a worthy enterprise. We can talk a bit more about that in a minute. I'll let Darren say his piece.
Hi, yeah, thank you, Sue. Thanks, Melissa. And thanks for hosting this, Jacqueline. It's really kind of you to invite us. So
You're
for
welcome.
me, it's kind of become a muse because I've been involved in the cult and esoteric in Bradford and the North from about 2018, 2019 onwards in an organised way. And Melissa's book, The Latin Extension, I'm a member of Craft Masonry in the Lodge of Hope, number 302, and the August Order of Light. So it sparked something in me and made me think about the Scott collection and the importance of things being in the public eye to not only inspire, but to offer hope. And it's kind of the bit like the mundane real world, you know, what did the situation you say? Beneath the streets is the beach, but for me, beneath the streets and boring materialism, there's some light shining. It's a bit better. And the museum and the archive and the objects we're acquiring off many other people as well. It's just bringing them forward, and it's such a pleasant experience to share time with people who want people to engage with that transformational approach to life, which the objects embody and inspire people to do. So there's a historical precedent for me, like the north of England and Bradford has a particularly unique tradition around esoteric and hermetic practice from the 19th century, with the start of spiritualism and the Rosicrucian Order and the August Order of Light. And it still has an active scene today, and helping have an archive is about anchoring people's imaginations without it just being in disparate digital formats. It's got to be in the present as well. But yeah, I'm just really lucky to have followed a thread. I always follow threads in life, and I got Melissa's book and I just messaged her and I said, oh, it's great. How are you? And then after that, we kind of, you know, I do believe that, I think it was Jung said, if you do your work and you be authentic, you find allies, don't you? And books and objects and information gets people together in a positive way. But yeah, sorry, I'm rambling.
Yeah.
I'll finish.
No, keep rambling. It's all right.
I think the only other thing I'd like to say is that although our aim is to get a museum and our archive is currently in the north of England, and we'd like to have a museum somewhere in the north of England, we do want to represent the entire of Britain's rich esoteric and occult history, because this country has got a really fabulous one with some most amazing stories. Some are quite bonkers. And I think Darren touched on it as well. It's about trying to bring back a bit of sense of wonder to the world. We want to sort of educate the public, give eye candy for the practicing occultists. I mean, being an occultist can be a very lonely path, and I think, you know, the team that have come together for Custodia Borealis, nearly all of us are magical practitioners, and you know, we're just such a lovely team. But yes, so we want to just kind of do it in the north of England, but celebrating historically and also in modern times all of Britain's magical and esoteric, pagan, kind of anything that uses kind of magical practice, all those practices, and yeah, capture the public, hopefully. And so yeah,
I think it's so brilliant that we are going away from sort of London. Obviously I live in the southeast, so I've got a bit longer to go on the train when I come up to see the marvellous archive, but I go to Covent Garden a lot, to the Grand Lodge Museum and Archive there, and use the materials. And chatting to the chief archivist, Susan Snell, recently, she said, without a doubt, the Golden Dawn and associated occult materials is the most popular collection that they have, and they've got, you know, thousands, probably millions of pages of documents there relating to Freemasonry and so on. And I think the fact that you have to wait and book up several weeks in advance, even if you just want to get one paper out about Wynne Westcott or Florence Farr or something from the archive, it just shows that how much pent-up demand there is and so much interest. And I mean, not everybody who goes to the museum spends their life doing research and writing things like Melissa, myself, and Darren do. You know, there's a lot of people who hear about it and think, "Gosh, that sounds really interesting and weird. Can I have a little slice of that, please?" And so it's starting to have quite an effect. And I think by locating this archive and ultimate museum elsewhere away from London, it just spreads the goodness and also, you know, spreads the opportunity to people who perhaps otherwise might not be able to get their hands on some of our great, you know, British occult history. After all, a lot of what we study, a lot of what we do actually started in Britain, and it's going to be great to be able to share that with people who could want to come and see it, and also, you know, visitors from overseas and so on, because we've already got quite a lot of people who are signing up to the Facebook group and all the rest of it who are abroad. So I think it's an idea of Melissa's whose time has come, and this is proving it. So there's every hope, you know, reason to be optimistic about it, I think.
Oh, 100%,
Yeah.
yes.
And we've got some great people coming in to support us in a whole number of ways, and other organisations and magical groups, individuals, like I know you mentioned Hunter McFarlane. So yes, he recently donated something to us. And it was a lovely, beautiful exchange had actually between him and one of our other members. But so it's kind of feels really uniting as well, and in some respects. And I've often said on our Facebook page, together we're stronger, and I do believe that. Yes. And you know, at the end of the day, the occultism and magical practice, but certainly magical orders, there's not that many of them. We're fairly niche. But yeah, things like the Golden Dawn went on to influence just about every magical path in this country afterwards, and there's no getting away from that. And I just think it's something we should all be proud of, really. Yeah. 100%. So yeah, sorry if I keep fiddling my ear. I've got AirPods in and they're trying to slide out. So, yeah. So, I mean, I've done a small PowerPoint, which is just really, I'm not really going into the history of the objects we'll be seeing, but it's just really about sort of showcasing some of the items we've currently got. And, you know, because this isn't all about the Golden Dawn, even though I know I've been going on a lot about that recently, but this really isn't. It started with the Scott collection, but it was always intended to go much wider. And we are doing that, which is really great. Right, okay. Can I hear everybody? Oh, yes. It's just, I don't know if you want to go to the PowerPoint.
Sure. Do you want me to add? Or I don't know if you can add from your end, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah. If you can do it, I think you've got the screen. Thank you. Okay, so I'm hopefully not going to take too long to do this because everybody must be absolutely boiling. But yes, that's our logo that was originally we came up with. There's our website there on the bottom. So yeah, it was one of our other members that came up with the name Custodia Borealis, and we all immediately liked it. And the background there of the aurora, because I've got a soft spot for the aurora. So our aim is to establish a museum and magic, culture, hermetica, both historically and representing modern magical paths. So there's an array of symbols and stuff there. You might find your path there. They might be missing, I don't know. But I was just trying to show that we really are going to be broad reaching in our aims for under the word magical and magical practices. So yeah, aim to establish a museum of magic, hermetica, culture. We've not really got a name yet for the museum, but I mean, a culture is actually quite an important one. It's become a bit of a buzzword, I think, in the last few years. Study of how occultism ties into culture through music and all sorts of things like that. And we want to represent Britain's magical stories, both past and present, because there are some fabulous ones. I mean, one of my favourites is the Battle of Blythe Road with W.B. Yeats and Aleister Crowley. But there was also this bonkers man, Charles Pace, in the 1960s, I think it was. He challenged BBC to a fire circle showdown at Stonehenge. I mean, I don't think it ever happened, but yeah, there's glorious people with some fabulous stories that are thinking out of the box and doing things differently. So yes, we want to preserve, display evocative, unique magical items, and educate and present things in an accessible way to the general public, and bring back some wonder to our world. That's a bit of a slogan for me at the minute, because let's face it, that world out there is going a bit mad. And so that's kind of that. So our plan, so I had to change this recently. So we have now taken a lease on a room to use as our official archive. it's hoped we're going to be moving things into it over the summer, and I think hopefully by the end of the year we'll be allowing access to researchers, historians, and people who've got a genuine interest in it. We've got all plans to archive it. We know what archival software we're using. So that's really well underway, and soon we anticipate having charity status, and longer term to establish a museum. Once we get the charity status, we'll be going for things like national lottery funding, and other grants and funding. In fact, one of our members, Toby, works for the Arts Council England, and he's put us in touch with the Arts Council in the North, and we're actually having a meeting with them next week to see if there's any way we can, any pots of money that we might be able to sort of tap into and help us with this mission. So started with the Golden Dawn Scott collection, the best single Golden Dawn time machine of a collection discovered to date, because that really is what it is. You know, when you see the objects, especially everything that they used in the temple, you can really start to imagine what it was like for them. I think in my previous talk I did for you, Jackie, I mentioned how large things like the ceremonial diagrams were. So it's just, you know, it sparks the imagination. So yeah, that painting there is believed to have been hung in the Golden Dawn's 1888 Bradford Temple of Horus No. 5. It's inspired by the Papyrus of Ani, or Annie, I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right. But the Papyrus of Ani was discovered in Luxor in 1888, and it was Budge who he actually cut it into pieces to get it back to the British Museum. There's a whole story there, because I think he'd acquired it illegally from, or no, I think Egyptian dealers had acquired it illegally, and then they tried to get it back off him, and he had to I think he kind of had to smuggle it out of Egypt actually. But so that's where that's from, inspired by. There's another one as well. So yeah, these again, some things from Horus No. 5 from 1888, and the thing is, I think I won't go into all the details of all this, because, you know, hopefully we've got a wide range of magical people here. But the one on the bottom right is the Pyramid of the Elements, and you can kind of see what a state it's in. I've lost my earpod. Just you can kind of see what a bit of a state it's in, and all of this stuff, as I said, it was kept quietly for over 120 years, and you know, it needs better. Some of these are unique. I mean, the image on the bottom left is a spirit pentacle, and I don't think we actually really knew exactly what one looked like, and people assumed because it was called spirit pentacle that it would be 5-pointed, but that is Horus No. 5's original one, and it's got a biblical verse on it in Hebrew around it. So those are various Golden Dawn artifacts. The portals in the middle are used in the grades associated with Hebrew letters, and top left is the tetrahedron of fire, and the top right is actually a little bit of a mystery for anybody who knows about the Golden Dawn. It's the cubical cross. In modern Golden Dawn, usually that has Hebrew letters on. We don't know why it's got zodiacal signs on, but that's probably one of the bigger mysteries in the collection. We're not quite sure what happened there, but that's that one. Okay, so on the left here we've got the warrant of Horus No. 5, which was just lovely to see. Again, I mean, people might have seen the one from Isis Urania, and also the one from Osiris is still extant as well. And there's Horus's. On the right are great altar diagrams. So these were used in the original Golden Dawn, and they were dropped later by groups such as Stella Matutina. They're very big. Those two are Garden of Eden after the fall and Serpents on the Tree of Life. And those are the original ones. I think the one on the right has been backed with card a little bit more recently. But these are absolutely unique. I mean, there's no others like it. And they're exquisitely done. We don't know who by. But these belong in a museum. So moving on a little bit further forward in time, we were gifted a selection. These are Golden Dawn ones that were made by a guy called George Alexander in the 1970s. They'd actually be useless as Golden Dawn implements, because you can't really give knocks with them. And the phoenix headed one there, it's so heavy, the head, that it actually kind of bends over. But I know Boscastle Museum of Witchcraft, I think they've got some of these, and we've got these ones as well. So again, it's a testament that people were making Golden Dawn stuff nearly 100 years after it was, originally created. So that's Golden Dawn modern. So these are original letters from Gerald Gardner. So we're moving to witchcraft now. And the one on the left there is possibly the last letter that Gerald Gardner ever sent before he died. So again, these are going to be part of our collection and show how we're, just expanding into other areas. And again, unique documents. And newer stuff. So this is more modern witchcraft. These are from the 1980s and 90s. So they're still getting old. So there's a thame used by a Gardnerian witch in the 1980s. Pentacle that was handmade by somebody called David Johnson, and also his Chris, which he used as his thame. These blooming AirPods. Right. So something else that's going to go to collection, which is actually coming from my own collection because I didn't know what to do with it. And again, I think it belongs in a museum. I own about 12 absolutely amazing giant elephant folio size books of shadows that were done by the late artist John Upton. Now, he was a bit of an anarchist, countercultural kind of character. And he was actually hailed as Britain's first street artist. And his roots go back to the 1960s with the Unicorn Bookshop, which was a real melting pot of countercultural ideas, magical ideas. It was run by a guy called Bill Butler, I think, and he was importing stuff from America, like beatnik poetry. Unicorn Bookshop published some of the early works of, I think it was Michael Moorcock and J.G. Ballard. And I think they've often been overlooked, but it was really exciting story, really. They were busted for selling marijuana out the back door, but it all ended up in a court case. And again, a story of people trying to be different, pushing back against the establishment. And so, yeah, these books, they're beautifully illustrated. This one that you see here is John Upton's interpretation of Isabel Gowdy, which is a classic Scottish tale of witchcraft. John Upton himself is there on the right, dressed in the white suit with his family. So yeah, that's John Upton. So art. I mean, I think art is a magical manifestation process, and this is great stuff. On the left there, this is a wooden bead necklace that was made by Doreen Valiente, and so witchcraft again. It was given to the High Priest Charles Clark. That's part of our kind of archival collection now. And on the right, some other bits. There's a wand, a talking stick, and an athame that was influenced by the Coven of Atho, which is another story from 1960s modern witchcraft. Again, crazy people hiding in bushes, reporters being told news stories, ended up in a high court case. It's massive. I spoke on it on the Welsh Occult Conference, but it's a very, very big story. Again, one that's often overlooked. But yes, so there's an athame that's been created in the style of the Coven of Atho from the 1960s. Another significant object this is kind of partially part of the Scott collection. This is the magical mirror of Madame Blavatsky. You'll see that the lid is a bit broken, but one of our conservators has recently repaired this. So we've got a conservator on our team who's worked as a conservator for a very long time, and her and another lady and another woman, Alexandra, they're both absolutely priceless to CB. They're advising on how to preserve things, how to wrap things, what to wrap them in, what kind of storage they need. I mean, CB, we really are a team where we've hit up just about every skill set that's possibly needed to make this vision a reality. So coming back to this mirror, it was made for Blavatsky by Thomas Henry Pattinson, who was a bigwig of the Horus number 5. He's a name that I'm hoping is going to soon be ingrained in people's minds, because he really should be as well known as some of them down in Isis Urania, like Mathers and William Wynne Westcott. So we believe there were 12 of these made. This is the only one I've been able to find, and it's part of the Scott collection. I know there are people at the Canadian Theosophical Society are desperate for it, so I did set out to try and find some more. I know the Theosophical Society did have another one in the 1930s, but when I contacted them when I was researching my book, they don't know where it is. So if anybody's ever seen a mirror like this, let me know. So going back to the mirror, there's a record of being seen by somebody, Jinara Jadasa. Sorry, I might be saying that wrong, but he describes it there. He remembers it, seeing it. He remembers actually going into the occult room of Madame Blavatsky, and I think it was a 7-sided room, and it had a blue ceiling, I think he said. And the idea was that on each of the 7 walls there would be one of these mirrors, and they were designed to focus occult and esoteric energies on the person sitting in the middle. It's also evident from a letter we've got that effectively Madame Blavatsky appeared to use this as a kind of scrying mirror, really. So she gave this to William Wynne Westcott shortly before she died, and it ended up being absorbed with the August Order of Light, who owns Scott Collection. So that's quite an exciting thing there. So we've had donations of books, rare and old occult books. This is just the small selection here. Again, we've been promised them, so we have an expression of interest form. So if anybody has stuff that they're thinking about loaning or donating to us, there's something you can fill out, and then we have a record of that, and we can get in touch with you when the time is right. But yeah, we've been offered a few different book collections actually, and it's just brilliant. It would be great for research purposes, and some of these books are really worth a lot of money and are quite unique. I mean, the book on the right there, the OTO Rituals and Sex Magic, I think that sells for hundreds of pounds. So there's a bit of an OTO story behind it. I can't remember the exact story, but I know it's a fairly rarish book. But I mean, even the Scott collection itself, it's got books in it that go back to, I think it's the 1600s. And I think there's a suspected first edition of Barrett's Magus. But the older books in the Scott collection, they are desperately in need of preservation and conservation and careful work. But yeah, so that's just some of them. Chaos Magic now. So to Leeds, 1980s. So these are 3 early Chaos Magic publications. I think they were all done by Sorcerer's Apprentice, which anybody who's my sort of age or older might remember the Sorcerer's Apprentice in Leeds. I mean, the mail order supply shop. They were kind of bombed, not bombed, kind of a fire was set alight in the shop. Again, there's a whole story around the Sorcerer's Apprentice about challenging attitudes, and the media were very unkind. And Chris Bray, who owns the Sorcerer's Apprentice, is still alive. And at some point, I think in the 80s, might have been the 90s, he was getting so much trouble, like graffiti on the shop and everything. He shut up shop and became mail order only. But he was really key to the development of more magical practices, particularly chaos magic, in the 1980s and 90s in Leeds. And a lot of the Leeds university students would go there, they'd hang out. Chris Bray would give them the space to meet each other and just talk magical stuff. And I think chaos magic seems to be going through a bit of a revival at the minute. It's quite popular. So it's a quite anarchic approach to magic, but it's nevertheless a magical practice, again, with some great stories. Rune staves. So the man on the right here is P.D. Brown. So he was in the early chaos magic scene. And he's also a fabulous artist, and he's donated to us these are rune staves that he's decorated himself. I mean, visually, they look fantastic. They'll be absolutely beautiful in a museum. Again, sparking the imagination, sparking wonder, and hopefully sparking questions for people, you know. So that's one thing. And these are hand-painted rune stones, also by P.D. Brown. I think there's 8 of these, but I think the other 6 he's planted in various places around Scotland. And if you know where they are, you can discover them. But these 2 are with him, and they're going to come to CB. So yeah, again, beautiful objects. Some more of P.D. Brown stuff. So it's carved horns and other magical items that I think most of these he's made himself. There's nothing like original, you know, pieces. Again, all evocative. You know, you've got the horns there. There seems to be a wolf on one. I think there's the other one an owl. I'm not sure. But again, beautiful items that, yeah, you just want them. They're lovely. Okay, and this was our recent acquisition, a pipe of Aleister Crowley. This kind of came to us a bit out of the blue. And I mean, Aleister Crowley, his stuff is... it always flies off shelves. Anything that comes up, there's a lot of people who purchase Crowley stuff. And this, we believe, is a pipe that he had, and where he died at Netherwood House. And there's a postcard there with it, which is signed by the landlady of Netherwood House. Crowley died there, I think, on the 1st of December, 1947. And she signed that to say, yes, basically, this pipe belonged to Crowley. So that was a really exciting object for us to be donated. I mean, love him or hate him, Crowley. I mean, I just can't help but wonder what he was thinking when he was, you know, chucking away on it. I mean, it's obviously, it has been broken. There's a bit of a stem broke, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a lovely object, and you just start thinking of the stories and what that pipe might have seen, because Crowley did quite a lot of stuff. I mean, he wasn't just such a great mountaineer. He was very experimental in magic and the religion of Thelema now, and obviously the OTO and the AA, which are a couple of kind of magical orders. So in the near future, so Custodia Borealis, we're all volunteers, and we now have 6 official trustees. Nobody's getting paid for this. We're nearly all magical practitioners, and we now have a room which will be used as our official archive, which I mentioned earlier. And again, hoped by the end of the year, researchers will be able to access it and access the collections and do their own studies and research on it. Yeah, archive, very important first step towards establishing the museum. And very soon, probably hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out membership tiers. So for people to become friends, supporters and founders of CB. As part of those packages, we'll be offering a monthly online talk. Now, I've got some absolutely amazing speakers. I've got a list nearly as long as my arm, and we've got some amazing speakers who have agreed to come and do a talk for us for free online, and on a wide range of magical topics. So we hope to be starting to roll that out soon. We're also going to be doing an annual journal, maybe early next year. We're also starting to plan pop-up exhibitions of some of this material. So that's a nice interim stage before we actually kind of are in a position to go for the museum. And also in-person events, thinking about maybe conferences or themed evenings, like maybe a themed evening with 2 or 3 chaos magicians, another one with 2 or 3 witchcraft people, witches, so on and so forth. And we've all been really busy networking, and we're just genuinely humbled and overwhelmed by all the support we've been getting. And yeah, if anyone out there has items that belong in a museum, please get in touch. I love the meme of Indiana Jones. A friend sent me it quite early on in this, and I've used it a few times. The look of Indiana Jones. It might be my age, but I love that bit at the end of Raiders Lost Ark where they all come out and just. But anyway, so yeah, that's Indiana Jones, and it belongs in a museum. And finally, if we're about anywhere, we've got various events. So we've got a few events next month in Bradford. If you go on a Facebook page, they're all on there. Myself and Sue Terry are talking at the Day for Florence Fair on the 4th of July in London. I think there's still some tickets available, but we'll have badges and flyers with us. Crowdfunder page, please join our Facebook group, because that's where we do most of our updates about things that we're getting in. And check out our websites. So going back to next month as well, we're at Hoyle Court, Bradford. Have got a barbecue. I think that's the 18th of July. I'm doing a talk for the Bradford Heritage Kids Community Interest Company in Bradford on the 17th, I think it is, Friday the 17th. On that one, I'm going to be talking about the Temple of Mystery at Godwin Street. In 1983, a mysterious occult temple was discovered. It was hailed as Horus number 5. Wasn't quite. The story is a little bit more complicated than that, but it caused quite a flurry in Bradford at the time. So I'm talking on that, and then I'm also talking at the Airedale Folk Myth and Magic, I think it's called, Moot as well on the 21st, I think. I think that's probably about it. Thank you. Oh, God, these AirPods are driving me mad. Oh.
Right, I think is it this. Don't want to remove you, so both of them have got Melissa on. Oh, there we go.
That's
right.
it.
Oh,
Lovely.
hiya.
There we go. Yes. Fantastic. Oh, hang on. You can hardly hear me. There you go. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good. Well done. Thank you. That's really
Nice.
informative, and it's told us so much more. So let's see. Now, I did add into the chat any questions. There was loads of comments, so you can have a wee look. And if you want to afterwards, you can still add stuff. So if you guys want to go back onto the video, you can still add stuff from there. So if you feel like, but there was quite a few bits in the conversation, but I didn't want to disrupt your flow, so I just let you get on with it. So I did say,
yeah,
I didn't mean to add that one. Okay. Right. So I did say if there was any questions, then add them, and we'll put them up in a minute. And the first one was from Toby. Hang on. There we go. Right. Go for your life.
What's this?
I need a slide rule for that one.
Yeah, but it's 110 anyway. Oh, are you talking about the other? He's talking the other end.
No, he's talking the other end. Yeah.
He's talking the other end, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I don't think I know anybody alive who's a 10-1.
No, me neither.
Yes. But I think that's a mission for you, Toby. We'll print it in our journal next year if you can do that.
We'll get to the 10-1 in a year.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about Toby writing it up for us in a year. We'll put it in the journal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting for everyone. Okay. There we go. What else have we got here? So there was lots of comments. Let me just get to the questions though first. Okay, so this is kind of another.
Oh, you're talking about the cubical cross there. So it's usually the Hebrew alphabet, 22 letters. There's 22 faces on the cubical cross. So it's usually that. It is certainly in the more modern orders. That's what we kind of see. I just don't know what happened with that cubical cross.
Yeah,
I don't know whether
mad,
they were trying to repurpose it at some point, maybe. I don't know. Again, this is kind of getting to the area of conservators. I mean, they might be able to do like an X-ray or something. There might be the Hebrew underneath, and it's perhaps been painted over. I don't know. And it's funny as well because it's got a hole through the middle, like maybe it was mounted and spun, which also doesn't make any sense really. But that certainly came with the collection, and so yeah, that's all we know about that one really.
Maybe they were experimenting. It'd be interesting to know if the Hebrew letters are underneath, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
It would be interesting to know as well. And there is evidence in the early ceremonial diagrams. They did get some things wrong, and they're repeating mistakes made in published books and grimoires and stuff like that. So they were perhaps learning a bit on the hoof in some respects.
Yeah, but you'd think they would just make another cross.
Yeah, we don't know about that. It needs an X-ray to see if there's anything hidden underneath.
Yeah,
or
interesting.
Something like an X-ray.
Yeah.
My God, how well in the coven. So I haven't been in touch with Ian directly, but I have got a friend who is in touch and is aware of us. So, and I think also whatever happens to Patricia Crowther's stuff, regardless, the minute we get museum status, we should, in theory, then be able to do inter-museum loans and acquire and loan each other stuff. So, so hopefully that's something will come to pass, because if it does end up in Yorkshire, I mean, Patricia Crowther, she was a Sheffield, I think, for most of her life, if not all of it. Certainly she lived there for many decades on City Road. So she's an important part of Yorkshire magical history and just nationally as well. She's very popular high priestess of modern witchcraft, wrote several books. And, obviously we're talking here Gardnerian witchcraft, but I don't think you'd have modern witchcraft as it is now, and it is big now. I don't think you'd have really had that if these people hadn't paved the way as founders, because back then it was edgy. And I was at a festival for pagans and witches, which is down near Coventry Way. I think it was last year. Well, I think even this year, I think somebody told me they had 3,000 people turn up. I mean, modern witchcraft and the pagan past, it's a growing thing. And a lot of the youngsters are seeing it as a religion. And I know Ronald Hutton is often quoted for saying he thinks that witchcraft is perhaps the only religion that Britain has given to the world. So thank you for that, Russ. I am on the case. I've got me ear to the ground. I'm sure we will hopefully be able to get some of Patricia Crowther's stuff when the time is right.
And a nice plot twist, in the room where we're having their archive, there is a Sheffield line Gardnerian coven, the Coven of the Beehive, which operates. So we managed to get up from Sheffield to Bradford. So there's a nice synchronicity there, which works in the area and the community as well.
It does, yeah.
Very cool. So I've just thought, as we were chatting and you were showing your books and things. So I don't know whether I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm just going to say it anyway. But there's so we've been looking after quite a lot of books from the Dormer. Is it the Dormer Society or the Dormer Group? I don't know. Anyway, and they were in Hampstead at the time, and they sold their Hampstead place. So we've been looking after these 300 or whatever it is amount of books. I'm wondering, because we're in the process of now handing them back to them, because I need my house back basically. And and I'm wondering if they might donate. I will certainly ask if they would like to donate a couple of books or something. You never know.
Brilliant. Yeah,
I will definitely ask them. The other thing is that there is how big of items are you prepared to take? because
we will find the place. We will find the space if they're big.
Okay, because there's also a couple of other things that we might have a hold of that might be more worthy in this future museum, and I will have a chat about that later. But
fabulous.
And I think you'll be quite impressed with them. But anyway, you might not be. Who knows? Right, let's back to the questions. I don't know what this means. Toby said, "What's that? Outside the meeting?" I don't really know.
I think that's to do with the shelfie.
Shelfie. I don't really know what that meant either.
It was books that.
Okay.
They had and etc. I think
okay.
that was.
So this wasn't a question, and I did already put it up, so I'll say it again. I'll put it up again. He said, "Excellent talk at the conference." Steve Mitchell, bigging you up.
Oh, thank you.
The lamp of Thoth, he says. That was Thingy's pipe.
Yeah, lamp of Thoth. I'm hoping maybe Chris Spray, because I'm in touch with Chris Spray, and I'm sure we'll be able to acquire some lamp of Thoths or Thoth. But yeah, I mean, that's again going back to Leeds. I mean, you know, the North really does have such a rich esoteric and occult history, and it's always been overlooked, I feel, you know, because so much was always happening in London, and they were more showy and had more money and got in the papers more, you know. So, but it's not right. I mean, my own experience in modern life is there does feel like there's a bit of a north-south divide, and you know, people, they shouldn't forget about the importance of things, you know, like Chris Spray, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Chaos Magic, and everything that was going on in the 1880s and 1890s up there. I mean, there was a whole load of occult groups up there.
Do you think, Melissa,
yeah.
Do you think Steve, when he did the Lamp of Thoth, it was the original one was in the 1880s in Keighley by the...
It was, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Was that the connection between why you did it?
It was,
because,
Chris Spray named his Lamp of Thoth in honour of the early, it was actually pre-1880, I think, Lamp of Thoth.
I think the 30s, from memory,
Yeah. But so we are some of us especially are very passionate about the north of England, but we're just passionate about Britain's esoteric and magical occult history generally. But yeah, more research needs to go on the north there. Absolutely. I mean, I was being pulled down in my book into things like the Fratres of the Rose Cross at Keighley, and then there was a Northern Occult Society that had some interesting people in it. But yeah, I know I'll stop waffling on. That's it's great.
There's more questions. We have one from Andrew.
Boleskine House. So I am friendly with certainly Keith at Boleskine House. There certainly could be potential collaboration. I think we're all very inclusionist. We want to, you know, try and reach out as many places as we can. We've been going all over the country doing talks and things. So that could certainly be a thing. So I'd be very, very happy to do that. So I've not approached them yet. I think they've only just opened the doors, haven't they? They've made it beautiful, a beautiful place. They've just done wonders up there. So yeah, that could certainly happen. We're open for anything.
So going from what I just said a little minute ago. So that's the Dormer Masonic Study Circle, and these are the books that I was looking after. Joe's a little bit bitter because they kicked him out and he was a secretary, I think, but I'm not sure. But something happened with that, and yes, Russell is slightly bitter. Toby says, "Ouch, where are we?" Oh, would it now? Okay. Toby, I didn't know that. Right, okay. Oh, says very true, Joe. So there is a bit of bitterness going on. But anyway, I can ask.
Oh, Steve used to have some lamp of Thoth. Is that the oh yes, you used to have. I was just about to try and blag them off you. But yeah, no, I mean, well, interesting. The really, really original ones or the Chris Spray ones. Actually, I have got copies of the original ones. But yeah, so they might see the light of day at some point in the form of publication. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Spray was great. Yeah, he still is great. And
so that's the end of the questions so far. Has anybody else got any questions? Has anybody else? So, oh, hang on. Oh God.
Oh. Stop.
Oh, thank you, Hunter. Marcus. But yeah, no, thank you. That's such a lovely offer. We're just honestly, I've just been blown away. I am bursting with pride for everybody that's come on to CB, and it was just like a little thought I had, a little muse hit me on there, and I just
a museum.
It's just kind of happening, yeah.
Things that are meant to be.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, even the Chris Spray ones, Steve, that would be great if you want to donate them to us, because at the minute we've not currently got copies. I think I've got one somewhere, but whether I can find it, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I mean, Sorcerer's Apprentice, you know, I keep thinking I should write something on the Sorcerer's Apprentice, because I'm worrying, you know, the youngsters are kind of, I think it's just really important to acknowledge history and the path that has got to where they are now. And I kind of fret a bit that the youngsters don't really know about things like the Sorcerer's Apprentice and things like that. And they absolutely need spotlighting. I mean, they were funny as well. Raised Lambertoff, weren't they?
I think even with all the media that we have now, everything's kind of got a bit blurred and possibly... how can I put it? Possibly not what we would want for everybody to think of esotericism and all the rest of it. So there's some maybe youngsters that are going down the wrong path, in my opinion, because of all the rubbish that's been put up on social media.
Absolutely.
And it's a bit scary, to be honest.
It really is. I mean, it's like Yesodic out there. I mean, it's getting increasingly illusionary. And also, I think the understanding of magic is changing. And I think one of the important questions that we're, going to be asking is, what is magic? How do people experience magic? Because I know that my understanding of it has changed vastly across the decades. So yeah, that's these are all just such good questions to kind of have and try to engage people with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty lucky that one of my children is part of, very interested in magic, and we didn't put her into any of that stuff, but she just kind of wanted to know, and I was just, I have 3 of them, and it was one, so we got one out of 3 of them that was really interested. I think these people are the ones that really need to bring it forward, is the youngsters, but it's so difficult with the bad things that are coming out. You need to have the real stuff, like especially with the museum now, that hopefully we can get things like that and proper stuff rather than silly stuff that everybody's watching on silly social media.
I think I was a bit depressed a while back, where there were a couple of younger women who actually did not know who Dion Fortune was. Now, again, that's another person that not everybody necessarily will kind of, embrace, perhaps, but a really interesting, really important figure, and really did so much in a British sense to develop a particular strand. And one of the things that I know that Custodia Borealis, as the museum and everything, will do is to kind of counter some of the misinformation, and as Melissa says, bring out much more about how we got here, and who these people were that helped to sort of forward it on, and allow this kind of allow this marvelous thing of wonder to develop where we are. I mean, we're talking about nearly 150 years in some cases, just because I think it was last week. It's actually an awfully long time that this has been going on. So there's a lot to do, and it'll be good.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it?
Yeah, legacy.
It is, yeah. I mean, just picking up on a point Sue's just made there. I mean, the Golden Dawn were admitting women on an equal basis with men 40 years before all women had the right to vote. 40 years. Yes. I mean
that's mad in itself.
Aspect. It is, and this is the culture aspect, and looking at things and how things change. Yeah,
that's absolutely the part of the work that I tend to focus on, is how did things change and what they're doing. And it was over 100 years later that the Church of England agreed to have the vexed issue of women priests and so on. And so that it was, that's one of those amazing date statistics that kind of boggles the brain. And there they were, over 100 years ahead of the rest of occult. once you dig into it, they've done a lot, you know, in a quiet, insistent way. There's a lot we can point to in this field of culture and occult history that actually has shaped some of the way that our culture is today. And the more you find out, the more it's quite amazing, and the more there is still to know. So there's plenty to do.
Yeah, I think once we've got the stuff together and we've got a space and place, we can extend that out just from the archive into group work, education, community practice. We're starting to make links with national and local universities in the north of England to look at arts and culture as well, which is really important. We're living in a renaissance of esoteric and a culture practice. We view it as problematic how people access it digitally. I really don't like the idea of the commodification of all aspects of esoteric culture and that you can buy things. I believe that real work and intention is given reciprocally between groups. But I look at it as an opportunity to engage with people. But finding people in digital spaces and young people is really important. And the archive acts as a repository and doing things like this, you know, online and asking people information. It's where we need to be at. So I don't see it as a threat. I see it as a rescue operation to take people away from earthly pentacle partings for information which isn't good and get people to the right places.
Yeah.
Good point.
Teenagers roving around getting food at my house.
So Joe says a topic for future talk, perhaps. Where do young people nowadays get inspiration to study the occult? Now that would be a good one. It's getting so. I mean, that would probably be more an Instagram, because I think all the kids are still on Instagram and things like that more than YouTube, as far as I'm aware. They look at YouTube to find out something, and they look at Instagram to scroll, don't they? These days, and Facebook's kind of gone out the window, I think. But
a friend of mine called the TikTok witches or something, and there were some quite fun ones out there. Yeah, TikTok witches.
I've put about 4 things on TikTok. I did a TikTok thing, and I'm like, I really can't be bothered doing it anymore because it's doing my nutting. But I keep getting followers, so I don't know. It can't be doing too bad. So I've got a few followers on there.
What really frightens about me is it's so easy now to create funny little things, and it's getting harder and harder actually to tell when they're actually real. And certainly if you go and ask AI in the area of the occult, it does not get it right, or it repeats
exactly.
It's just wrong. I mean, take that picture of Dion Fortune that keeps popping up at the minute. It's not Dion Fortune, but it's been used so often. People are saying, give me a picture of Dion Fortune. It's coming up, and they're all using it. I mean, this is what a bad history. But yeah, so I mean, you know, we've got some great people, historians, you know, things like that at CB. We really are. We're carefully researching all of the items and everything, and we're trying to be as accurate as we can. And at the minute, AI can't touch it and get it right. It can't. It just can't.
Doesn't understand.
No.
So
yeah, well, there we are.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Imagine that.
I mean, what? Yeah,
CV is the same. Good point.
Yeah.
666 steps back. Yeah.
I do love the Instagram, TikTok and stuff. I don't know how to work most of it, and I try my best, but you know, we are practicing in a medium where we're using symbols, language, and transformational change to change people's reality for the positive and better. So things like social media are tools out there to get us message across, and it's how to reach people. I mean, I'm not the example. My TikTok account for the moot we organise, you know, it's atrocious, but it can make nice visual objects. It's there, and we need to kind of learn that language to connect, just like the real if you look at the spread of hermetic knowledge in the 19th century, it follows the railways, money, power, British imperialism. Like, people talk about Bradford and the Temple, but it was one of the richest cities in the world in the 19th century because the wool trade. It was called Worstedopulus. No wonder there was going to be a temple. There was people with money and time and the resources to do it. So, you know, these are the new currents what we've got to look at, and I might not be the best person to do that, but to support those who can do as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, it's the remit of youth to reinvent, to hash it up, to shake it about. But I still think there's a lot of truth in that, you know, if you don't understand history, destined to repeat it, and that there's other anecdotes about history. It's just about stories as well, and stories that inspire and, you know, hopefully, you know, inspire us in return. But yeah, I do agree. It is important to give younger practitioners spaces. And I think, as Darren's already touched on, we're hopefully soon going to be engaging with, I think it's Leeds Beckett's and Leeds School of Art, and hopefully setting them some projects about magic and getting them to do, I don't know, design a costume based on magical symbols or something, or an art piece. So we are actually actively working, trying to engage with those younger people, as Darren has mentioned.
That's really cool.
I think that's one thing where it's such a joy and so positive to be working with a group of people around CB, certainly for myself, because it's really been quite interesting. Although I've been in the middle of it, to occasionally step back and look at it and think, well, in 3 to 4 months, we've now got a professional attitude. We've got a place, we've got a space, we've got things, and we've built up trust, and we're all dedicated to delivering on that. This isn't something where we're saying, oh, we'll get round to it tomorrow, or we'll just put it on a market stall or something. You know, laudable events that those might be, but there's a real lot of there's a high degree of, all I can say is sort of, you know, professionalism about it. So I hope that comes across to everybody we encounter, and who says, I can trust them, they know what they're doing, and you know, we have the right kind of attitude and intent that this is going to make it something that everyone can access, and it will be of lasting worth. And it's been incredible to see already how people have literally put their money where our mouths are, and they have you know, been supporting us straight away to enable us to get this space so quickly. I think that's great. I, for one, am very grateful that the public have come along with us on the journey so far, and I'm also really, you know, pleased and honoured to be involved in it from the centre as a trustee, because it's proving itself, I think, all the time that there's new. And, you know, Darren's absolutely right. We've got to learn how to engage with the modern world. I mean, I'm for the postcard and cassette world myself. I'm happy with that sort of thing. But even I know we've got to get a bit quicker and slicker. So, you know, it's a challenge, but it's part of the fun, I think.
Yeah.
It's been ace because it's reinforced to me, you know, we told throughout all our lives that, you know, the world's cruel and kind, we're all in competition with each other, but in all aspects of my life you meet good and bad, but human beings generally are caring, cooperative, show solidarity, and when people are doing things authentically, they cooperate, and from the wider network to the board, people have got things done. And I've experienced organisations where inertia, grandstanding and committee membership doesn't get things done, but I really do feel that the entire wider CB network and the practitioners which are contributing to it, there's some great elemental correspondences of, you know, fire and air and the grounding of earth and water at times. But it's, you know, it's been a really pleasant experience, and it's positive in a bad world. People do get together and create good things through mutual aid and cooperation. And CB is one of those shining examples. It kind of, it makes me feel positive about giving time and space to it within my life.
Quite.
Brilliant.
So
I think that's all the questions. I'm not getting any more. Any more questions, anybody? So, hey, it's been wonderful speaking to you all. Well, you lot have done all the chatting. I've just nodded my head quite a lot.
It's been great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
Yeah.
And thank you for
Yeah.
people to
Welcome.
come in and ask questions. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's always good, and
Yeah.
hopefully this will branch out into even more. And then once you've got the replay on, you can always add them onto your Facebook pages and all that. So yeah,
Oh, and if
hopefully more
anybody
people will
listening,
see.
Jacqueline, if anyone
Yeah.
listening wanted to go to the whole court talk Melissa's doing, which is part of the West Yorkshire Light Blues Masonic organisation, just add me on Facebook or contact me, because I've got tickets to do that. It's just to pay for the barbecue. You're not paying for the talk. But if anyone was listening, wanted to go about the Egyptian temples, I just thought I'd add that. You can get to us from CB, but it's just a bit of practical.
Excellent. Yeah, you give us the links.
Yeah.
If you or Melissa or whoever can send over the links, and then I'll add everything onto the description in our YouTube onto this YouTube stream. So, and I'll do as many links as you give me. So put whatever you want on there. Where is your talk, Melissa? Sorry.
So the one that Darren's talking about.
Yeah.
Whole Court Masonic Hall in Baildon. It's part of the Light Blues for Masonic members, but we've extended it to friends and family. So it's going to be it's an interesting day in a beautiful setting, an old 19th century Masonic Hall with a specialist Egyptian temple linked to the founder of the August Order of Light and a member of Horus No. 5. And it's just nice grounds and nice stuff. But the money doesn't go to us; it's to pay for food. But the talk is free, and
talk is free, yes.
Yeah,
and there'll be CB badges.
Can I just re-plug the Florence Farrell Magical Imagination Day on the Saturday, the 4th of July? And Caroline Wise and myself have run this now for 4 years. Fantastic day talking about Florence Farrell, Golden Dawn, and other fellow travellers. Melissa is giving a fantastic talk this year, and we will indeed have badges and all the goodies that we have to have. Lash out. It's actually being held at the College of Psychic Studies. They're hosting,
which is
it's a fantastic venue in South Kensington in London, and all the tickets are available on their website right now. I'm giving a talk and about some newly discovered stuff that I've been working on, which is great. But enough of that. It is coming up on Saturday, the 4th of July, as I say, and it will be a grand day out. Really, I think it's also their 100th anniversary. So there's lots of interesting things at the College of Psychic Studies, from spirit art to Arthur Conan Doyle's memorabilia and God knows what else. So hope to see you there. And it's a beautiful Victorian place, which they have had for over 100 years. So it's well worth a trip.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Right. So if you give me all your links, and I'll put them in the description. So if you have a look at the description, and you'll see what everybody's been chatting about. And if you want to go, then just click on the links, and you can pop down there. They all sound really cool. And I don't know if I can do them all, but I shall certainly have to look and see if I can. All right. So
thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Monthly Mystical Live, and I hope to speak to you all again at some point. You have to we'll have to do another chat maybe in a couple of months or so, or whenever you've got a really good update that you want to chat about. Then that'll be so cool. Yeah. All right then. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Bye.
Great. Grand.
So wasn't that good? So if you're interested in any of the things that have been chatted about tonight, then please do click on the links. I will, as soon as I get the links. Well, it might be tomorrow morning now, because it's getting late, and depends on when they give me the links. Because I've nearly fallen asleep. I haven't had much sleep in the last few days. I'm pretty sure most of you are the same. I'll be from being bitten and roasted to death. Bitten by bugs, that is. I've been sleeping in my sunroom, and I left the back door open, and now I've just been bitten to. Anyway, I do my usual. So it was a really brilliant talk. Please do show your support for this amazing project, because I think it's going to be a cracker. It's going to really, really take off, really huge. So as soon as I get some information on these memberships and all the rest of it, get yourselves onto the Facebook, and I'll put all these links in the Facebook page and all the other stuff on there so that you can join. And thank you once again for joining me on the Monthly Mystical Live. Again, don't forget, I sell magical tools. So if you want to have a magical tool, please do click on the little or do the scanny thing up in the corner there. And on that note, I shall see you next time on a hopefully a bit cooler Monthly Mystical Live. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and thank you all the people that joined this evening and chatted, because it makes a big difference when you all chat and you all have a wee comment. It makes a big difference to the egregore, no, not the egregore, what's it called? Whatever it's called. And it builds the channel up. So please do like, subscribe, and share everything you see. Please, that would be wonderful. And we shall see you again soon on the monthly. Oh, next week. I've got one on next week. So please have a look on the YouTube and click on your interest. And I shall see you next week on the Monthly Mystical Live. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely, hopefully you'll cool down. Well, some of you are all right, aren't you? We're boiling here in London. All right. See you all soon on the Monthly Mystical Live. Lots of love. Bye for now. Whew.